I love tournament fishing, and on this episode, my buddy Troy Norman and I are fishing in the Shaw Dryden Walleye Masters on Wabigoon Lake. It's going to be a fun one. You don't want to go anywhere.
Fishing with Gussy is proudly sponsored by and uses Shimano rods and reels. Visit Shimano.ca for all the specs.
Hey, welcome to Fishing with Gussy. We got a really cool show today. My buddy Troy Norman and I are on Wabigoon Lake, pre-fishing 2 days before the Shaw Dryden Walleye Masters tournament that's going to go on here this weekend. So we're going to go over our pre-fishing strategy a little bit and just show you how we like to cover water to try and find fish and hopefully big fish. Second part of the show is going to be live from the tournament, and hopefully we can have a good performance and get to be on the second half of the show. Stick around, you're going to learn lots about walleyes and you're going to see some big fish this weekend on Wabigoon Lake.
So the Shaw Dryden Walleye Masters is located on Wabigoon Lake, and it's a pretty cool fishery. There's Wabigoon, which is a muddy water, and then it flows into Denoric Lake. It's a little bit cleaner, and off of each lake there's a Trap Lake, Mile, a whole bunch of smaller little lakes that are clear water. So we're just kind of covering some water in these clear water lakes first to see what the fishing's like in there. We're going to move out later tomorrow and hopefully see if we can put together a pattern in the muddier water, and after the end of our pre-fish, see which one's going to be better for us. So
Troy's from Dryden, by the way. He lives in Fort Francis now, but he grew up fishing this lake, and so he knows his way around pretty good, which is a good thing because I don't know it very well. So.
Yeah, and Wabigoon Lake is just a minefield of rocks out on the main lake. I spent most of my time down toward Denoric guiding when I was about 13 to 15, and it's a pretty phenomenal fishery. There's some great muskies out here. There's some really nice walleyes. They're starting to have a crappie population start to take off a little bit now, and lots of pike and lots of smallmouth. So it's a fun lake to grow up on and learn how to, navigate around in that dirty water where you can't see rocks to get to these cleaner, clearer lakes. And yeah, it's a fun lake to grow up on.
Well, and the neat thing too with, regards to the walleye fishing is that you can really catch them however you want. I mean, over the last couple times that I've fished here, we've caught them on crankbaits and spinner rigs, trolling, jigs in plastic. Yeah. We caught a lot of fish in the tournament last year.
Yeah, you get out in that muddy water and, those fish can move right up on top of those rocks. You can't see 2 feet down, but those walleyes will stack up in there in 2 feet of water, and you start throwing some crankbaits up in there, or throw some bobbers and roll them over top of it, and you can really catch them with a variety of different tactics.
And one of the reasons why the artificial works so good is that in the darker water, you can use baits that maybe have a little bigger profile, and you can snap them, fish them a little more aggressively.
A little more shine to them, a little more brighter look to them in that dirty water. Look at that.
Got plucked?
That ain't gonna help us.
No. There we go.
Walleye?
I think we got ourselves maybe a walleye, maybe a pike.
You've been pretty good at the pike today.
Listen to him. You're pretty good at the pikes. I'm just good at catching fish, Troy.
Yeah. Yeah, those pike have been just hot on yours.
No, look at this.
You want a picture with it?
No. No, I don't need a picture with it, Troy. So there, you can see I got him on that little back hook. See, there's a little bit of weeds on there too. That's what these walleyes, they really like weeds out here. And that's probably like a 15-inch fish, and we'll get them back. Part of the unique thing about this tournament and most walleye tournaments is there's a slot size on the walleyes in northwestern Ontario. You can have 4 a day, and only one can be over 18 inches. So in the tournament, our limit's 5 fish, and we can have 2 over 18 inches, 1 each. So part of the strategy, though, sometimes those overfish can be tough to get, and there's obviously really big fish here, 26 to 30 inch fish, 6 to 10 pounders, and whoever wins the tournament's going to have a couple of those. So, but it's also important to get your slots, your under 18s. So that's kind of more of what we're looking for right now, is just some stretches of shoreline that have, you know, those undersized fish. That one wasn't a great one. You want to get those 16 and 16.5 to 17.5, you know, inch fish, and then they get a little bit more meat on them, and you're starting to get, you get a 17 incher that's getting close to 2 pounds.
Yeah, there's a real big difference between a 15.5 and a 17.5, like a pound difference in there.
Yeah.
So you put 3 of those together, 3 pounds is a big difference in your bag.
Definitely want to choose the right rod for fishing with these spinners. You saw the hooks on these rigs are pretty small, so if you use too stiff of a rod, you're going to tear the hooks out of the fish's mouth. There, this is a nicer, this is a real nice under walleye, I think. But you can see this is a 7.6 medium action Shimano Crucial, and it's perfect for not tearing the hooks out of those fish's mouth. Okay. See, I lifted him there. Wouldn't do that in the tournament, and I just tore the hook out. But we're going to measure this guy and just see. He's not quite as big as I thought, but
16.5 or so?
Yeah. So, yeah, like just right at 16. Not as big as we thought. He's a fighter. But it's important to get a limit. So we've made a pass by here and had quite a few hits, so that's a good sign. We found obviously there's a number of fish here. We caught a couple and had a few other bites, so that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And obviously you find some spots that have numbers of fish, and then that's going to increase your odds at hooking up with a big fish. You know, if you're around numbers.
You find those spots with the numbers on them, and eventually you work through them and you'll get the right bites out of them if there's a quantity there. Seems like the spot's holding a couple.
Stick around. After the break, we're going to be back out pre-fishing looking for more hot spots.
Power Pro Super Slick 8 is smooth as silk and casts like a bullet. Enhanced body technology makes it thinner, stronger, smoother, and quieter. Use brown in the wood, green in the weeds, and yellow for high-vis fishing situations. Power Pro Super Slick, unleash the power with none of the noise.
Everything you'll need to keep your engine running this winter can be found right here at Devil's Gap Marina. They're full service and open all year round, so you can relax in the car and keep warm. Or not. All of those convenience store items with none of those convenience store prices. From snack foods to fishing lures, service with a smile, and the most affordable gas on the lake. Devil's Gap Marina, located at the end of Matheson Bay Road on beautiful Lake of the Woods.
Goodyear, chosen to get through tough winters. And the tire dealers you choose for great service trust Goodyear too. Their experience with winter tire care inspires the expert service they pass on to you. Goodyear, more driven.
The time to take to the water is now. Wood Lake Marine will help you hit the lake in style, as their high-quality marine products are sure to please. Let their award-winning staff tour you around their showroom of top-of-the-line new and used boats and other recreational products that are sure to exceed your expectations, but not your budget. Wood Lake Marine, delivering the ultimate boating experience. Call or click today.
just going through some of these shallow, weedy bays. Not a real traditional technique on a lot of other waters across Sunset Country to catch walleyes, but these fish go shallow in this lake and they seem to like the weeds. You can see we're sort of bundled up here today. The weather's not really perfect. It's not cold, but it's really windy, and we've had quite a bit of rain, so we're kind of tucked out of the wind right now in a little back bay, so we're getting a break and it's kind of nice. But that's one of the things about tournament fishing is that, you know, throughout the event and throughout pre-fishing, you know, you got to get out there and put your time in. You're going to get forced to fish in conditions that maybe you don't want to be out there in, or you wouldn't be out there in normally, and that's going to make you a better angler at the end of the day. So the one thing, oh, I just lost it.
Nice one.
That was a nice fish. I was just gonna say there's a fair number of boats fishing around us, so in the tournament we're actually gonna net those fish. I still got my worm, so I'll get it back out there. But we don't want to pull the net up in practice, because then people will see you if you're waving that net around. It's just like a
Big flag.
big flag. Come fish over here.
Yeah.
So we got no net today. That was a nice fish though. This is a spot that we've fished before, so we've already got some waypoints on it, and have a pretty good idea of how the structure sort of lays out. But
That's the thing with lots of these spots too, is you got to go over them year after year, because the weed growth is a little different from year to year. So sometimes on that point or whatever, there's, you know, a heavy weed line 30 feet from shore, and then the next year it could be in a little tighter depending on water levels and conditions.
this is another thing that we do. I'm getting a little more action than Troy here, and I'm using the weight, and we're just in that, we're in 8 feet right now, so he's using a weightless rig, and he's probably not quite getting down to those fish quite as good.
Yeah, it's nice to have two different baits going like that. You can
That's
have,
a little nicer one there, buddy.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to have two different rigs going like that. One guy get down in that deeper water, and one guy can have a bait flying a little higher.
And then by the time the tournament starts, we're sort of both on the same
Dialed in.
page with what's the best approach.
Yeah, because some days too, when these things are going, they'll come up out of 10 feet of water like nothing to come hit a spinner without any weight on it. Today, it doesn't seem like they want to move off the bottom too much.
Yeah. So that one, oh, wow, that is very close to 18 inches. Almost so close that
You wouldn't want
you
to.
wouldn't want to bring that in. The one tip of the tail is just barely on the line, so that one's actually just a hair. I mean, if I push them, I can kind of make it, but really close. Like, I mean, right on the line. That one would make you really think about what you're doing there. And sometimes with walleyes, they'll actually get a little bit bigger, or shrink up a little bit, but usually they stretch a little bit when you put them in the live well. Sometimes you catch them and they tense up a little bit maybe. Okay, well, there you have it. Troy and I pre-fishing. We caught a few fish, found a couple pretty good spots. We figure we can get some undersized fish. Got some rain moving in, nasty weather, so we're gonna pack things up for now. And when we get back, it's gonna be tournament time. Live from the tournament. Hopefully we can have a good performance this weekend, but stick around, you're gonna enjoy it. Yeah, see him again there?
Yep, two of them.
Coming up next, we get the tournament started. Hopefully we can find some big fish.
Hey, get over here. I got a hot tip for you. Shimano has redesigned the Cronarch, Corrado, and Sidecar baitcast reels, the Sustain and Stratic spinning reels, as well as the Crucial, Compre, Claris, and Convergence line of rods. Get down to your local dealer and check it out. Competitive anglers, watch for the Shimano Platinum Angler Program. They've got some great rewards for anglers that use Shimano products.
There's no place like this.
Why should you choose Rema Roofing? Maybe because they guarantee a free estimate within 48 hours of the initial call. Or because they're quality BP certified installers with a lifetime warranty on materials. You choose them because they have a 10-year workmanship guarantee with special rates for contractors and have been family owned and operated since 1988. They honor their scheduled commitments, but best of all, Rema Roofing does it right the first time.
Countryside Manor Bed and Breakfast. It's a place to call your own. With a breathtaking view overlooking beautiful northwestern Ontario, you'll find all the peace, quiet, and comfort desired for a wonderful stay. The Countryside Manor Bed and Breakfast offers all your favorite conveniences and with a delicious breakfast that can't be beat. You'll want to come back again soon. Call today to make your reservations or visit our website to find out more. Countryside Manor Bed and Breakfast. Stay with us. You deserve the best.
Looking for fishing tackle and friendly one-on-one service like nowhere else? You'll find it at Bobby's Corner and Sport Shop, where all the big fish like to play. Check out the big catches coming out of Bobby's Sport Shop. Wall to wall, Bobby's is packed with thousands of muskie, bass, and other baits and lures, guaranteed to give you the cutting-edge advantage. Bobby's Corner and Sport Shop, Highway 17, Vermilion Bay. Why would you go anywhere else?
What we're doing right now is we're trolling just with flatline spinners. So I'm just using a little Northland crawler harness. You've got the two hooks right here in line, and that's just for those shorter biting fish. If you just have one little hook on there, they're going to pull the worm off a lot easier, and having two just makes it easier for those fish to get that second hook in their mouth. But you can see right up here, I've got my braided line tied directly to a swivel and then the mono to the spinner. Some of these other rods we're actually using we're fishing in like 5-6 feet of water right now, or even shallower, so that's why we're not using any weight. In that like 6 to 10 foot zone, then I'm using just a little 1/4 ounce little rock runner bottom bouncer. And then if we get out in a little bit deeper water, I've got 3 of these combos set up. And in the deeper water, then I've got a 1 ounce weight and to my rig. So that's just for getting down a little bit deeper water. So we can cover, the reason the spinners are so good is we can troll with them, cover a lot of water and eliminate water. And if we make contact with some fish, then we can sometimes the spinners are the best way to catch them, but we can also go back with jigs and
Really work the area.
and then work the area. But so they're great for finding fish, and they sometimes are good for catching big fish too. We just finished up the rules meeting here. It's Friday night before the tournament, and I've got tournament director Joe Barron here with me. He's going to talk to us a little bit about what a great fishery Wabigoon is and the city of Dryden that's put this event on for many years.
Yeah, we've got a great tournament running this year. It's very exciting. We've got Shaw coming in. There's some big fish being caught out there. We're looking at 8s, 9s, and 10s. I've heard some those size of fish. Wabigoon's a shallow lake, so it's a little tougher to fish at times, and a muddy lake. So when you get mud, wind, this lake just turns on. The warmer weather in the next few days is really going to make this thing pop.
I spend a lot of time fishing and outdoors, and yeah, it's gonna rain.
Going after the big ones, hopefully going down a little further than around the area, and hopefully we get into some.
Now, what about the weather? Is that going to have play a factor?
Get soaked. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to get soaked.
Yeah, but will it help you catch more fish?
I doubt it.
Well, we're going to brave out the rain by the looks of it.
fishing shallow? Are you going to go to the deep water? What are you going to do?
I'm going to fish the weed lines right off the hop, absolutely. Start shallow, and if we're not getting those bites shallow, we're going to go deeper then.
Looks like we're going to have a good morning for fishing. I don't know. We got a couple of spots that we're going to go to right away and hope for the best.
We don't usually have a strategy. We just kind of wing it, and it seems to work out for us.
Now, you're from Dryden. Do you think that gives you an edge?
No. Technology out there nowadays, it evens the playing field really fast.
We've had a great couple of days on Wabagoon Lake. It's been a lot of fun. After the break, we're going to show you who wins the tournament.
Hey, get over here. I got a hot tip for you. Shimano has redesigned the Chronarch, Corrado, and Sidecar baitcast reels, the Sustain and Stratic spinning reels, as well as the crucial Compre, Claris, and Convergence line of rods. Get down to your local dealer and check it out. Competitive anglers, watch for the Shimano Platinum Angler program. They've got some great rewards for anglers that use Shimano products.
Time to take to the water is now, and Wood Lake Marine will help you hit the lake in style, as their high-quality marine products are sure to please. Let their award-winning staff tour you around their showroom of top-of-the-line new and used boats and other recreational products that are sure to exceed your expectations, but not your budget. Wood Lake Marine, delivering the ultimate boating experience. Call or click today.
Northwestern Ontario is your ticket to a great adventure this summer. For camping, on the lake, fishing for fun, or competition. Festivals and fairs all summer long. Dig in for lobster dinners, or saddle up for horseback riding. There's farmers markets with plenty of pie, but you must wait half an hour before swimming at one of our beautiful beaches. Complete details are available online, so come out and play in Northwestern Ontario. Visit escapetoontario.com.
Napa Auto Pro keeps cars and sometimes their drivers young a long time.
Lund boats have been built for anglers by anglers since 1948, so they know what they're doing. I rely on them for all of my fishing, whether I'm in a tournament, guiding, or just going out for fun with my buddies. They have the best warranty in the business. You owe it to yourself to go check them out. Head down to your nearest Lund dealer. They'll be able to look after you. Good fishing.
Hi, my name is Jeff Dingwall, and have I got a fish story for you? I'm just here to kind of talk about growing up with kids and taking them fishing. We've been doing tournaments for over 20 years with my two boys who definitely graduated to basically the pro ranks. We've had a lot of good finishes, a lot of good fun, but they've definitely gone beyond wherever I would be. But I do get to fish with them, and we just finished the Shaw Dryden Walleye Masters. Managed to go through the tent, had a good finish, a lot of fun, and through perseverance, I was fishing with my youngest son, Blair, managed to land a 25.5-inch walleye in the last hour of the day, which unquestionably made my day, made his day, but it's just kind of an example of when you are fishing with your kids, what can happen.
from
There we
Dryden,
go.
Ontario.
What a day for
Michael and
those two.
Stephen Cortons. Congratulations, guys.
Now that's perfect.
Place prize money of $12,500. A fully rigged Lund Mercury combo sitting right here in front of the stage.
We're here with the tournament champions, Doc and Stephen Cortons, and hey, congratulations, guys. Tough field, 125 teams. You guys came out on top. How'd you do it?
Well, we varied our strategies from day to day. Like day one, there was an east wind, so we went to the west side of a shoreline, and day two, there was a west wind, so we went to the east side of a shoreline.
We fished hard. Like we didn't let up. But we were patient. Just kept fishing really hard the whole day. Really patient. Worked with the weather, and it ended up paying off for us.
Yep. Obviously, being local helps. You got a lot of time on the water, and so you're able to fish different sides of the lake. How many fish would you have gone through over the weekend? How many fish a day did you catch?
Probably yesterday we caught close to 80 fish. Little ones.
They caught 80. We caught like 6 yesterday and about a dozen today.
Yeah. But lots of little ones. And today, things were slower but bigger.
Today's Father's Day. Yeah. What better way to spend it and celebrate it than fishing with your son?
I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
In fact, every year I take a different one of my kids out fishing, so it's a great weekend to spend Father's Day. We've got 2 girls and 3 guys, and they take turns coming out.
Well, congratulations, guys. Good job, and enjoy it.
We certainly will. Thank you very much, Gussy.
Okay, Jay and I are here. We're wrapping up the Shaw Dryden Walleye Masters for another year. Across northwestern Ontario, there's a lot of good tournaments, bass and walleye. And as far as the walleye events go, we don't fish a lot of them, but we fish this one because it's probably the best event in the region, right?
Yeah, it is. And the other thing, this is my home lake. I grew up here in Dryden, Wabagoon Lake, and Scott and I have a bit of an advantage to you and Troy, I guess, but we've spent a lot of time out on this lake. I think I fished this tournament since I was 13.
Troy and I ended up 34th, so we were just out of the money. We caught quite a few fish over the weekend, but just couldn't get any big bites. We tried doing what we could to get those bigger fish to bite, and it just didn't happen for us. But you guys had a 24-incher yesterday. Was your big one? I
think we had a 22 and a couple 22s and real good slot fish yesterday. Today we had a 21 3/4, and I think our other one was a 19-incher. We couldn't get those bigger overs that we normally get.
All right, well, you guys had a pretty good weekend again. Another strong finish. Next up, this tournament goes on every year in June. July, we got the Fort Francis Canadian Bass Championships, and then August, we got the Shaw KBI in Kenora. So
really looking forward to both those. Those for us, absolute highlight of the summer. You go to bed thinking about top 10 boat parades, winning that thing.
Yeah.
If you can beat him, you're going to do well. So my partner's Troy, his partner for this weekend. So we talk about it all season. If we beat Gussy, we're going to be right there to win.
All right, well, we all had a good weekend, and we'll be all back next year, that's for sure.
Fishing with Gussy proudly uses Power Pro Super Slick line. All of the power with none of the noise.